When you strip it down to its most basic form, wholesaling real estate is a pretty simple strategy. You find an ugly house, you execute a contract with the owner to buy that house at a discount, then you sell your contract to another investor for a profit. That's it. So in this video, not only am I going to show you the easiest way to get your first deal, but I'm going to show you how it's better than doing drugs because you get all the benefit and none of the side effects. But first, if you're new here, my name is Jerry Norton. I make millions of dollars a year wholesaling and flipping houses. And here on my YouTube channel, I show you how to do the same. So if you want to be a flipping genius like me and live your dream life, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. I'll never forget my first wholesale deal. It was 20 years ago in Detroit, but I remember it like it was yesterday. It was only $6,000, but it might as well have been $1 million because that's what it felt like. When that happens to you and you get your first deal, you will experience the biggest high you've ever felt because you'll know that your life is going to be changed forever. All those drugs you took in college won't compare. And then like me, you'll become a junkie and spend the rest of your life talking to sellers and wholesaling houses just so you can try and feel that original high from your first deal. It's a wonderful and sick thing that I hope you get to experience. But you have to get started, so let me give you 3 easy steps. Step 1 is to find ugly houses. Investors we call cash buyers love ugly houses because they can buy them at a discount, fix them up, and rent them for cash flow or flip them for a profit. Your job as a wholesaler is to get good at finding these ugly houses. There are 2 methods that are really easy to find ugly houses right in your town where you live that you can start doing today. Method number 1 is to physically drive around and look for visibly ugly houses in your area. This is referred to as driving for dollars, and it's how I got my first deal in Detroit 20 years ago, and it still works today. Now you're looking for deferred maintenance like tall grass or overgrown landscaping, boarded up or broken windows, mailboxes filled to the brim, code enforcement notices taped to the door, piled up newspapers on the porch, peeling paint, or a bad roof. Now, since it's not being taken care of, there's a good chance that the owner might be open to selling it. What's great about driving for dollars is it's free other than some gas money and your time, so it's a great way to get your first deal. To help you, I created a detailed guide on how to find 20 houses a day driving for dollars, including how to organize your routes and your list. I'll give that to you for free. Just go to myquickstartkit.com for the free download. I'll explain how to contact the owners in a minute, so keep watching. But the challenge with driving for dollars is it only works during the daytime hours, and it's a big time commitment, which brings me to method number 2 to find ugly houses that you can do anytime or anywhere. As long as you have access to the internet, you can use a distressed seller software provider. A distressed seller provider aggregates, compiles, and organizes distressed seller information. For example, people in pre-foreclosure or probate properties or vacant properties or bank-owned properties or property owners who live out of state. There are several different distressed seller lead types, and the idea is that if the seller is in financial or emotional distress, there's a good chance the property is also neglected and in physical distress. Just like driving for dollars, the assumption is that a distressed seller might be motivated to sell an unwanted property at a discount. And like I said, you can access this information online from your computer or a smartphone, which means you can do it anywhere or anytime, giving you a ton of flexibility. Now, getting access to a distressed seller software used to be behind a paywall where you had to pay a monthly subscription or pay per lead, but not anymore. Now, thanks to a revolutionary new software called PropWire, you can access the largest database of seller leads in the nation for free. You simply go to joinpropwire.com, select your market, choose your lead type, and PropWire will give you a list of sellers that you can download. And like I said, you can search and download as many leads as you want for free, so you have no excuse not to get started right now. Now, after you get a list of addresses from Driving for Dollars or a list of distressed sellers from PropWire, step 2 is to get their phone numbers. To get someone's phone number, you need a service called skip tracing, and it's very inexpensive. There are lots of skip tracing services out there, but PropWire has skip tracing built right into the software, and it's only 10 cents per successful skip trace. That means 100 phone numbers only cost $10. So with PropWire, you can create a list and automatically skip trace it to get the phone number, saving you a ton of time and hassle. Now, the first 2 steps of finding ugly houses and getting phone numbers is easy. If you can fog a mirror, you can do steps 1 and 2. But step 3 is where the men and women are separated from the boys and girls. Step 3 requires you put on your big boy or big girl undies. Now that you have a list of ugly houses and their phone numbers, step 3 is to pick up your phone and call the sellers to see if they're interested in selling their house. That's right. You call the seller and you say, I work with a group of investors who are looking to buy a house in your neighborhood for all cash. Are you interested in selling? Now, the reason why this is scary is because people are going to be rude to you. They may be upset that you called them. They may be offended at your offer price. But here's the thing. This is what separates the winners from the quitters. If you can see past the rejection and understand that this is just a numbers game and you make enough phone calls, eventually the stars will align and a seller will say yes and you'll get your first deal. And that will feel so good that you'll stop going drinking with your buddies on the weekend because you have something way more fun to do. When you talk to sellers, there are 4 things that you're looking for. If these 4 things are there, you have a motivated seller and you'll get your first deal. The first one is obvious, and that's the condition of the property. Is it in poor condition? Remember, ugly houses sell at a discount. Number 2 is distress. Is the property causing the seller emotional or financial stress? Number 3 is urgency. Does the seller want to alleviate the stress that property is causing and sell it in the next 30 days? And if the first 3 conditions are present, the 4th one usually follows, and that's price. Is the seller willing to sell it for all cash at a low price? If all 4 pre-qualifications are there, condition, distress, urgency to sell, and price, then you have a motivated seller and you'll get your first deal. And this is what you have to understand. Motivated sellers only make up about 5% of sellers, so you have to talk to a lot of them. Statistics show that if you're not a baby and you can man up or woman up when cold calling distressed sellers, it takes about 200 quality conversations to get 1 deal. Out of 200, about 20 are going to be serious, and out of that 20, 1 will be a good deal that you can wholesale for a profit. So if you can't talk to 200 people to get a life-changing deal that's better than taking drugs without all the side effects, then here's what I want you to do. Go down to your local jiu-jitsu training studio in town. Tell the instructor that you're a pansy and you'd like to develop some grit and you want to volunteer to be a practice dummy and get kicked in the face and choked out. After doing that every day for a week straight, get back on the phones calling sellers, and I guarantee you it won't be nearly as scary. And to help you get good at talking to sellers, I'll give you my cold calling scripts along with 20 powerful phrases that will help you build trust. I'll put the free download link in the description box below this video. Once you get that first deal, the next step is finding a cash buyer, and that's where I come in. I flip houses anywhere in the US, and I have capital and systems in place to do more deals. So for every ugly house you find that meets my criteria, I'll buy it and pay you $10,000. If that sounds exciting, be sure to watch a free training to get all the details. Just go to my10kcheck.com to learn more. So, what are you waiting for? Seriously, what's holding you back? Look, when I started, I was making minimum wage, living paycheck to paycheck. Then I found wholesaling, and in 3 years, I became a millionaire at the age of 30. Imagine how your life would be different if you did a wholesale deal that made $10,000. Now imagine if you did 1 wholesale deal a month. That'd be $120,000 a year. Now imagine doing 1 wholesale a week. That's over $500,000 a year. That would put you in the top 1% of income earners. But it all starts with finding ugly houses. So finally, after you get your first deal, your next goal is to learn how to consistently get deals every month. To do that, you need to become a closer. Now, a closer is someone who's good at talking to sellers, finding motivation, and solving problems. So watch this next video where I explain exactly how to be a top closer. And remember, it's not about the money, it's about having the time and freedom to do, be, have, and give everything God has in store for you. That's what it's really all about, and I'll see you on the next video.